So here we are finishing up the first week of this class, and I am finally now wrapping up getting this course entirely together. So first, thank you for giving me the time to get this all together. Again, the lectures, they come a little bit slower because it takes me a little bit more time to get them done. So we've got the week one lecture. I imagine week two lecture is going to be my next focus here. I'm going to try to get that done this weekend, maybe, hopefully. Um, and then try to stay at least a week or two ahead of everybody. But everything else, the structure is now there for the entire course. And what I wanted to spend my time in this video talking about was the homework and the summary and discussion. So let's do that first here. So let's start first here. So if we look at week one here, which is this week right now, what I've tried to do is make everything that's usually graded not be due like that week, but try to give you a 2-week time period. So what you'll see here is that your first deadlines really aren't until October 9th. That should give you enough time to kind of never feel like you have to be on top of everything every week, that you got a little bit of a delay. So here we have our summary and discussion, and then our graded homework. I'm actually just going to change the order of them. So let's just talk about the graded homework first. So it shows up here, and it's going to say like quiz. Don't think of it like a quiz. It's not a quiz. It's just a homework. Unfortunately, it just makes me put it there. But what you'll see is that you have no time limits. You can do this as many times as you want, and it's only going to keep the highest score. Okay, so you'll get a pretty good sense of how to do this. They're going to always be about the same length, about 15 questions. And so if you preview it here, what you'll see here is, the question should be pretty straightforward. And yeah, I'm not sure why it's showing you a time here, but it shouldn't be, because you can spend as long as you want on it. Okay, so that's the homeworks. And then the other part of this is our summary and discussion papers. So I put some instructions right here. And what we'll see here is that the idea here is that I want you to have some exposure in this class to the professional literature. And so what I did is I drew things all from the same journal, the Journal of Economic Perspectives. It's a professional journal, but the rigor is more approachable for you undergraduates. And what I want you to do is, over the course of about 1,000 to 1,500 words, which is about 2 to 3 pages, I want you to spend about 2/3 of that time and space doing the summary of the article itself. And then the remaining part of it would be kind of what I call the connections section, which is where you're making connections to either what you're learning in this class, what you're learning in other classes, or just to your life in general. So yeah, that gives you kind of an idea of what you would do. I would just suggest you make 2 sections in your paper, one being called summary, and then the other one being connections. You would include any references, of course, that you'll be needing throughout things. But the idea is that I'm going to grade the first one and then and I'll grade it kind of lightly so you don't have to feel like you have to be an expert at this right away. And then I'll give you suggestions to kind of improve your other papers. So I actually think that the summary, although it sounds like easy to do, I think that's actually the hardest part, because you're basically condensing 15 pages or 20 pages of an article down to a page and a half. But that's just my opinion. Okay, so if we just go back to the beginning of what I'm trying to discuss here, then. So again, we have these 2 things here. Don't worry about the point. The points don't really matter. What matters is that I'm going to have the same number of points for each of the paper ones, of the same number of points for each graded homework, and then it's like your percentage would be multiplied by the weight that's in the syllabus. And yeah, there we go. Now I'm just going to continue to build the lectures, and then I'll continue to build the paper assignments and the graded homeworks.